You've got 15,000 followers on Instagram, maybe 10,000 on YouTube, but you're making $0 from them. And the problem is that you don't really own that audience. Instagram does and YouTube does, whatever platform that you're on. So in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how to build an email list that actually makes you money so that you can consistently contact your prospects over time. So I'm going to show you the 4 types of leads, lead magnets that work, what to create and why people actually sign up to things like this. And then I'm going to show you what kills a lead magnet so that you don't waste your time building something that nobody really wants. So subscribe if you want to learn more about email marketing monetization or also cold email, stuff like that. But basically, the first I'm going to go to this one right here. The main problem with this is that, let's say that you post every single day, you get likes and you get comments on your stuff and people actually like your stuff, which is good. But when you launch your course or try to sell coaching, it gets really, really quiet. And the reason why this happens is because social media doesn't really convert all by itself unless you have very strong call to actions within the video. But the issue is that people are scrolling, they double tap, they move on. They're not really in this buying mode. Plus, you don't own that audience I talked about before. There's some other kind of concerns, right? The fact that the algorithm could also change as well, right? And then your reach could drop 80%, who knows, or maybe your account gets banned. But the reason why email is different here is because you own the list and you control the messaging within it, and people aren't going, from video to video to video to try to get engaged, right? And so in that sense, their focus is a lot more aligned to what you're talking about. And so what you need to do is first build that list, right? And that's where the lead magnets come in. Now, obviously, if you don't know what a lead magnet is, it's something that's free in exchange for someone's email, but something that you want to make sure that this is something that people actually want, right? Because if your freebie or your lead magnet sucks, then the chances of your paid thing being sucks is also pretty high, right? So we want to make sure that's also aligned. So the first type is a template that they can copy and use immediately, or even just like a checklist, right, that they can follow step by step. So for example, a content creator might offer 30 viral content ideas template, or a coach might offer a 5-minute morning routine checklist, and a consultant might offer sales call prep templates as well. And the reason why it works well is because, it's immediately useful. They can use it right away, and they can use it today. It saves them time, and it is also very, very easy to consume. And it proves you know what you're doing, and really quickly and upfront, so that people can actually trust you further, especially with your paid courses and programs and stuff like that. So this would generally be good for course creators, coaches, consultants, people that just teach systems and frameworks, right? Now, the second thing would be a short guides and PDFs segment. And so this is like a 2 to 5 page PDF that solves one specific problem. And honestly, it could be as long as you might need. It doesn't really matter too much. You want to make it short, concise, because you want to deliver value as soon as possible, right? And so some examples like this could be 3 mistakes killing your sales and how to fix them, how to write headlines that get clicks, the email sequence that converts cold leads. And the reason why it works is that it's very specific, right? They know exactly what that problem solves, and it's quick, takes like 5 to 10 minutes to read, and it's actionable, right? They can implement it right away. And it positions you obviously as the expert, and by doing that, it gives you authority and trust. And so this would be good for courses, coaching, services, all that stuff. Honestly, like every niche possible could work for something like this. And then third thing is video training or masterclass. This one I would highly suggest if you have a really good editor, or you yourself are really, really good at editing. And so a 10 to 20 minute video that teaches something really, really valuable. It could be like a tutorial or like a breakdown or a masterclass. Some examples that I just put right here. And the reason why this works really well is because it builds trust faster than text, right? They can see you and they hear you, connect with you, and you're talking to them directly, right? Some people do pre-recorded versions of these, which could work as well, but lives tend to do better in terms of conversions, and it's a lot more engaging than reading a PDF, let's be honest, and it qualifies your leads. And so only serious people watch 10 to 20 minutes, which is a good indication as to how warm they are to your products and your programs. And this would be really good for like high ticket offers, coaching, consulting, especially like those big ticket items where you need to build a lot of trust and rapport before making the sale. And then the last one is just newsletter subscription. Honestly, this is like the most basic one that's out there. So this is not like a one-time freebie. This is more just like a weekly or bi-weekly newsletter, depending on what your niche is, of course, right? So they just subscribe to get regular value from you consistently. So these are some examples that I brought here. And the reason why it works is because it's ongoing, it's continuous. They get value every single week, not just once. It builds the habit of hearing from you, right? It's lower commitment as well. It's very, very quick. In terms of the reading time, around a minute or 2. I think that's a good amount of time for people to read. Any more than that, they would rather watch a video, because you can pack a lot more information and content into that. But this is text. and it positions you as the go-to expert in your niche through this consistent feed of information to them. And so if you're building long-term authority, if your offer is super complex or high ticket, you have to build a lot of trust before making the sale, then this would definitely be the move for you. And something else I want to cover as well is something that, like, the things that generally just kill a lead magnet just doesn't really do what it's made for. If you want stuff like, if you're making things like free guide to success, right? Or a 50-page ebook nobody's really going to read, or like tips and tricks, right? People are just going to be more lost than actually curious as to what that is, because it's just too vague, right? And so if there's no clear value and no problem that you're clearly solving for them with this lead magnet, people are just going to turn away. And so these are kind of like bullet points that I need people to understand, is that good lead magnets are specific, they're super quick to consume, solve one problem, and are very easy to implement, right? They can use it today, okay? So pick the type that fits your offer. A lot of these can work, cross-compatibly, if that makes sense. But generally, you just want to stick to one or two things and just do it consistently, and of course, do it well. So now you got the list, now what, right? So this is where most creators drop the ball, okay? Honestly, the email list building with lead magnets is probably the easiest side of things, because you're already making those videos anyways. But what you don't want to do is just send generic newsletter stuff and then just sit around thinking like, why is nobody buying, right? The money is in the email sequences, right? So this could be a welcome sequence, it could be a nurture sequence, launch sequence, it could be even a retargeting sequence where people might have dropped off, but then they started re-engaging with their stuff again. Then you can send another sequence, right? That's how you turn these email subscribers into buyers. But we help creators who already have lists write those sequences, but of course you need the list first. So if you already have an email list but aren't making any money from it, we can write email sequences that convert subscribers into customers for you. Check the link below. We work with creators who want to monetize their list right away. But basically what you want to do is pick the lead magnet type that fits your offer, build the list, then use email sequences to sell. That's how creators can make real money using this strategy. And so next video, I'm going to show you some real examples of how creators and some course sellers out there are generating revenue through email marketing, and then also tell you how you can implement that to your business. So thanks for your time. Talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.